And we are back, baby. You know what our daily NBA playoff plays. Like I said, we locked in every single day of the NBA playoffs. Let's get to it. We in the second round. We in the Eastern Conference semis, starting it off with the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. Unfortunately, we got some big bad news. Joel Embiid, he out, man. He a trooper. Listen, I don't got a dog in the fight, but you gotta respect the dude, man. He rushed his comeback from surgery. You can tell he all banged up. He be playing through injuries. Just tough, He always hurt, and he's out today. So what does that mean? It's always like a little bit of skepticism because when you're preparing for somebody to play and then they don't play, and then especially as like the star, now the entire team plays completely different. It throws off your game plan. So it could potentially be like a sneak win for the Philadelphia 76ers, but we going with the New York Knicks winning this game just because Joel Embiid, obviously the best player. And he's the reason why, I feel like this series should be competitive. Hopefully he doesn't miss too much time because we love to see great competition. But what does that mean for today? Not only it looks like the Knicks got a cakewalk for the win, Maxey should go crazy, but it looks like the Knicks got a cakewalk for the win. It looks like a Karl Anthony Towns triple double is way more likely. Also, watch out for Josh Hart. Josh Hart assist numbers might go up this series. He's looking like he's taking his old role back, especially when it comes to pushing the ball. He looks like he's hustling a lot more. Like he's looking like the Josh Hart of before this season. Well, before earlier this season, because I don't know Josh Hart. I think he thinks he's a star at this point in the team. So like he doesn't have to do all that grunt work. I don't know, but it looks like he's back to doing the grunt work and especially pushing the pace. And that's how he racks up a lot of assists, how he has done it. I expect this series is looking like he's going to go back to that uh, particular role. So look out for him, at least 6 assists nightly, as it stands from game one. We got to see if they stick with that same game plan. Karl Anthony Towns should still dime up, looking like they playing him in a Sabonis role. But it's better because he actually can shoot lights out. He calls himself the best 3-point shooting big man of all time. I agree with him, right? And I was a Dirk Nowitzki fan. You feel me? He's a better, especially 3-point shooter, but I would say overall shooter than any other big in NBA history. And I think Karl Anthony Towns, he puts on an assist show, hits a couple threes, but like I said, it's kind of a little bit weird to judge all the props because you are expecting Joel to play, so both teams are gonna play a little bit different than they normally would because of this news, especially dropping today. But I would look out for a Karl Anthony Towns triple double. He's the only one that seems to be able to get a triple double at this point. But yeah, so that would be the thing to look out for the Knicks and the 76ers. And now let's go to the Western Conference. The Western Conference semis. We got the Minnesota Timberwolves and we got the Wemby Spurs. And the Spurs got upset despite Wemby, recording his triple double with blocks. I got to see if he like the youngest. He got to be the youngest person to record a triple double with blocks in the playoffs. Maybe did Shaq do it? I don't know. I gotta look. I gotta go back and look at that. But Wemby went crazy, even though a lot of those blocks were goaltending. Good thing that the Wolves did win because that would have been very unfair. I look for the Spurs to bounce back. Anthony Edwards is questionable again today. I expect him to play, but you never know. He has a legitimate injury. We watched him get hurt. So maybe he can suit up, maybe he can't. But I think regardless, the Spurs do their best to protect home court and not go down 2-0 because losing one home game is already bad enough, but losing two, it's not like a death sentence, but it's not a good look. Especially for an inexperienced playoff team. And you're going up against the Timberwolves, who are an experienced playoff team, especially Anthony Edwards. He's been to the conference finals before. So, and Rudy Gobert as well. So I would, like I said, look out for the Spurs to bounce back. I think this series is going to be an excellent series. It might be the best. I don't know. The Pistons and the Cavs is going to be a really good series. We got some good matchups. If Luka don't come back, we got a bad matchup against obviously Lakers OKC. But just going back to the Wolves and the Spurs, I expect Julius Randle. I expect him to rebound more this series than he has been rebounding. Um, just with how the Spurs play. So I would always look out for Julius Randle, eight rebounds. His assists is to be determined. Got to kind of see it a little bit more as the series progresses. See if he's in more of a role to facilitate a little bit. I think Mike Conley kind of is, especially them using Mike Conley a lot more. I think like he's kind of taking over. He's kind of messing with people's assist numbers. Also, I would say let's go to looking at Stephon Castle's 8-8. You know, Stephon Castle, he's an 8-8 threat every single night. He hasn't produced an 8-8 in a while, but he's an 8-8 threat every single night, especially against the Timberwolves. And it's a game two. You know, game twos aren't like game one, so it's gonna be, you know, obviously more adjustments, but it's gonna look more like it should look for the remainder of the series. You know, like the teams are what they are. Stephon Castle triple double is always potentially in the cards. Maybe it's Stephon Castle Wemby combination triple double. Wemby with the blocks and the rebounds. Stephon Castle with the dimes and the rebounds for a triple double. You know, it happened in the regular season. Maybe it happens in the playoffs too. You know, these players nowadays love to set records like all the time, coming with the most random stats. Oh, this is the first player to do. These are the first two teammates to record a triple double in the playoffs and in the regular season, right? So that might potentially be something that'll happen. But I look forward to that being a really, really good game. I think the Spurs should win that game. But those two teams are on a game to game basis. It really depends because I feel like they're really, really good matchups for each other. You know, the Timberwolves match up very, very well against the Spurs. Despite the Spurs, I would call them the better team. You know, even and like I said, they still match up even well, even though Dante DiVincenzo is out. So, like I said, look for a great game tonight. That'll be the 9:30 Eastern Standard Time game, and look out for the Knicks Sixers starting at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I think both should be good games. Hopefully, the New York Knicks don't blow out the Sixers. Not that I don't want the Knicks to win. It's more of I just want an entertaining game, and blowouts are never fun. And they've blown teams out the last three games they've been in, so hopefully that's not the case again. But those are my picks for the day. Just to wrap it up, just again, recap Karl-Anthony Towns, triple double to look out for. Josh Hart, 6 assists. Look out for this series. Actually, let me add this too. He should rebound a little bit more. He's looking a lot more aggressive. So potentially 10 rebounds for Josh Hart as well. And then we can advance to the San Antonio Spurs and the Minnesota Timberwolves game. Look out for Stephon Castle, 8-8 every game. He's always a threat for that potential triple double status as well. Look out for Victor Wemby. His blocks might go crazy this series, especially how the Timberwolves was looking. They look like they don't care. They just like, all right, we just gonna try it, throw it up. His blocks might be something you want to add on to, but Wemby is a blocks threat, potential triple double with blocks threat as he's shown in game one. Julius Randle is a more rebounding threat, especially because Gobert got to deal with Wemby like when he's down low. So, rebounds might trickle down to Julius Randle, depending. Julius Randle assists are TBD. But those are pretty much the things to look out for in the money lines, if you want to pick a winner. I would say Knicks game two. I would say the San Antonio Spurs defend home court game two. And always, again, look out for the NBA trivia that I drop. Love to do NBA trivia. Love to interact. Please always make sure you leave your answers to the trivia questions. You can also even respond with comments on a player I should do trivia on next. I love things of that nature. I love interacting with you guys. And, we're doing this every single day of the NBA playoffs, having super fun. If my picks are wrong, if they're right, I love interacting with you all. I love the trash talk, the junk talk, keep it going. And, we're just doing this all for the love of the game, baby. And, catch you on the next one.